Now we all know that chords can sound a little bit boring. So today we have something very special in store for you. We're going to dive deep into the magical world of chord tricks so that you can inject some pure emotion into your playing. And if you'd like more videos on how to go from zero to playing your favorite songs on the piano in months, not years, be sure to hit the bell and the subscribe button because I post new videos every week. And if you're totally lost and don't have a roadmap for learning the piano, I highly recommend taking my free training. In this training, I'm going to show you the exact steps that I take all of my students through that helps them learn how to play their favorite songs fast. The link is in the description below. All right, let's get started on making these boring chords very emotional and musical. Throughout this video, I'm going to use the chord progression C major, A minor, F major to G major. And here's how it sounds if I add no emotion to it at all, just boring chords. Now that can sound really lovely on its own, don't get me wrong, but let's inject some emotion right now. The first way that we can add some richness to these chords is by turning them into seventh chords. I'm going to turn all of these chords into dominant seventh chords, which you can learn more about jazz chords or seventh chords in this video. Today I'm going to show you a really easy trick to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to C major, our first chord, and to turn it into a dominant seventh, I'm going to go from C, our root, and I'm going to count 2 notes or 2 half steps right below it. So C major, 1, 2, now that's C dominant 7th. So now we're going to go to the A minor chord, and we're going to count 1, 2. So here it is. Then we are going to go to the next chord, which is F major. Count 1, 2. And then our last chord is G major and count 1, 2. So let's listen to the whole progression now as seventh chords. Now these chords have a touch of jazzy elegance and a lot more oomph. The second way to add some more emotion is by adding the ninth to the chords. So I'm going to go back to my original progression. C major is the first chord. So to add the ninth, all I'm going to do is the reverse basically of what we just did. And I'm going to find the root and I'm going to count 2 half steps up. 1, 2. So this chord is going to be C, D, E, G. Ah, sounds really nice. Okay, so now let's go to the next chord, which is A minor. Count 1, 2. Then we're going to go to F major, adding the ninth, which would go like this. 1, 2. And then G major is our last chord, adding the ninth. Here's the root G, 1, 2. So let's listen to the whole progression now. This is really nice. I feel like adding the ninth is like just almost like having a really nice taste of wine. It just gives kind of a lush classiness to it. Before we move on to the next ways to add emotion to your chords, let me know in the comments which emotional song are you dying to learn? Let me know. All right, now that we know how to add sevenths and ninths, which give our chords a lot of juice, let's find some other ways to really add emotion. So I'm going to show you some different embellishments that you could use. So one thing you could do is using broken chords. So what I was doing was I was just blocking them. That means I'm just playing all the chords basic. But if I broke them up, I'm going to take the top couple of notes. I'm going to do it with my ninths. I'm going to take the top couple of notes and play my ninth chord like this. Another thing you could do to add some emotion is by rolling the chords occasionally like this. You could start off rolling. You're gonna have to be so relaxed in your wrist, rolling that chord. Another way you could add emotion is by doing something called fillins. So we're gonna add little melodies between each chord. And I'm gonna be using notes that are in the chord that I'm currently playing, or I might add a fill-in that goes towards the chord I'm playing after. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna stick with my 9th chord and then go to my next chord. So here's another example. So you can really do anything there. Experiment with it. It's gonna feel awkward at first, but just try it and try to loosen up. And this is where you're gonna kind of improvise a bit. And so with your broken chords, your rolls, and your fill-ins, now just mix it up. Don't just do all one, just mix things up. I was just playing around with it, but you see the point. Just mix it all up and try out some different things. It's gonna really add a lot if you use your 7th chords, adding the 9th, and then doing these little embellishments. It's gonna take you really far. If all of this sounds really cool, but you don't know how to apply it to your favorite songs, I highly recommend watching my free training. It shows you the exact roadmap that I take my students on that helps them go from 0 to playing their favorite songs in months, not years. The link is in the description below. And before we head out, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I post new videos every week about how to learn the piano fast. And I will see you next time.